Today I'm critiquing the part 2 of the $44 million Malibu concrete mansion. So if you ever decide to build, design, or purchase a mansion, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad, I'm the mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
When you have a plot like this, you want to maximize your frontage, especially if you're facing the Pacific Ocean. So it's nice that for this room, they have true floor-to-ceiling motorized sliding glass doors, opening up the entire space. So your dining area literally feels like an exterior patio, which I love. And then you have your two solid wood tables, seating for 16, so you can have amazing events, parties, dinner parties here. Fireplace to my right, travertine wall, some built-ins. Now, before we talk about the show kitchen, I want to quickly pivot this way because there's a detail here that I want to talk about. We have two floor-to-ceiling wine fridges, or a fridge that can hold your spirits. But here's what's so fascinating about this design. Kris custom designed these appliances. I didn't even know you can custom design your own appliance, but Kris did it. And I love how he used stainless steel throughout the cabinetry. And I'm assuming this is old teak, so it's old teak wrap. It looks very chic, and you can certainly hold a lot of bottles here.
Beautiful. I didn't know you can custom design appliances either. And this color combination of bronze finish with that color natural wood goes really, really well. Nice, really nice.
Now next up, let's talk about the show kitchen, or we can call it a bar. You have the seating here, pendant lights above us. These pendant lights are concrete. Nice touch, tying all the details together. And then on the other side, we have the same ashwood cabinetry, paneled fridge. And here we have a really fun detail.
Not so quick, Enes. What do you mean bar? Where are the bottles? It's not a bar, okay? And it looks more like a kitchenette, right? You don't have a stove. How could you not have a stove in your show kitchen? I mean, to me, this is not a place where you will hang out with your family. This is strictly formal dining, okay? So if you have a long table, you can set up a, 16-person people can sit by the table. Or if you have a sushi chef that will serve you over here. But this is not a place where you can cook yourself. It's really, really strange. And then what even makes it more strange is that cozy little living room, which I showed in part 1, don't worry, I will link the video at the end of this video. It's just a very weird transition to have your family room right next to your formal dining area. It's just not a natural flow, because when you have no guest over, I really doubt you would actually spend time over here.
You can see some of the appliances we have within the island. You have a microwave, 2 fridges, some of the drawers, extra storage, and then over here we have the glass enclosed section, which is your chef's kitchen, or really the main kitchen. Now this is where this tour gets really interesting. I haven't been this excited to tour a kitchen in a minute.
This is a prime example of getting inspiration from a restaurant and trying to execute it in a mansion. Can you imagine waking up and wanting to cook for your wife? Are you gonna come over here? Or can you imagine having a party? Everyone in America, when you have a get together, everyone congregates around the kitchen. Can you imagine your guests in a chef's kitchen like this hanging out? It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. It does not translate at all. And it's a huge, huge decision to not put a stove in that kitchen, in the show kitchen, whatever, kitchenette or the bar they called it. Because that's where people congregate. That's where people hang out. And by separating this situation, you're putting your foot down and saying, I want to go against the flow of how people typically for hundreds of years have congregated on one spot, and I'm going to eliminate it.
Now, why don't we focus on the island on this side? Multiple gas burners, floating shelf on top, that way you can keep your food warm, massive commercial vent above, and then we have another broiler on this side, sink, these beautiful knobs. This island alone is a single unit that they had to crane in, which is wild. And then here you have your main sink with another floating shelf.
Look, I found another place where you can do a cold plunge.
And this is super cool. If you have a commercial dishwasher like this in your home, I want to be your friend because I think they're really cool. I mean, come on.
What are you doing? You want to you start a catering company? What is going on? What an overkill. What a strategically wrong decision to make. To eliminate your kitchen and go for this massive commercial kitchen, which is not personable at all, and then not giving enough space to your show kitchen or the stove or the vibe and energy for people to congregate there when there's no guests around. So far, as I said it in part one, the only place in the house so far which I find like like you would spend the most amount of time is that tiny little living room next to the formal dining room. That's it.
This is the room that's located right in the center of this property, closest to the Pacific Ocean. And having these motorized sliding glass doors that are true floor to ceiling and opening up this room to this incredible view is what makes this space and the experience here so special. And if all that wasn't enough, you have your 180-foot infinity edge pool and this concrete roof line that is cantilevering out, which houses the second floor balconies. It really frames this incredible view and brings the infinity into your living room, which at this point feels like an outdoor space, given that we also have the other side opening up to the courtyard. I love the energy here. Something about the seating, the understated aspect of this room really speaks to me. You have your comfortable sectional couches.
They don't look comfortable at all. There's no back support. It looks like the business class lounge of, Japan Air from 1980s. But I do like this space, I have to say. I like the fact that it opens up to both sides. You have a courtyard on one side, you have the ocean on the other side. I think this is where everyone would congregate if you have a party, okay? But I don't see the space, a space that you would actually hang out with your family if you're there by yourself. Okay, it's way too grand, way too big. It's really for entertaining this area.
As if this lounge wasn't amazing enough, on the other side, we have the courtyard. Now, I wanted all of you to see this space from this angle. We can actually see all the way to the entry of this property. Again, the koi pond, the Zen garden. It feels like the extension of the main lounge. And Kris has statements for each one of the rooms in this house. And for this particular space, the courtyard, he said, it is the still space the entire house orbits around. And that is such a beautiful way of explaining the courtyard. But to me, it's the utility that really speaks about the space, how it serves the house, and how it just provides so much life.
Okay, let's talk about the courtyard because it has positives and negatives. The main positive is that it keeps the line of sight open all the way through when you walk in. Your wow factor is there and actually frames it. And it also allows natural light to all the internal rooms, okay? It's a pretty thick building, right? It's pretty wide and you need to bring natural light in. So it provides that. But at the same time, it kind of destroys your flow where you have to go in these circles to get around because you can't really walk across this, right? Now, this courtyard to me is way too bare. It doesn't have that Japanese element. I mean, I get the whole, patterns of the rocks on the bottom, but it's very desert vibe. I would have expected more, bonsai tree, maybe Japanese maple tree, a little bit more lush to kind of frame the view and bring that zenness to it.
Let's go see the office. This is a really cool space and I like its location. We have a floating desk here that is anchored by this stone leg, so it cantilevers, very nice detail. And Kris's design logo is also burned to the wooden top. And then you have this beautiful leather chair.
That headrest looks ridiculous on that chair. Now, I do think this office is pretty cool, much better than the rest of the house because why? Can you guess? Less going on. You have natural wood, which calms it way better than the other, stone floor that they're using elsewhere, and less geometric patterns are going on, okay? Now, its location is questionable. You can call it, Zen being by the courtyard is a positive. It's a beautiful thing to look at, right? It's separated. But at the same time, if you have colleagues visiting you, they have to go through the house to come to the office, and that's a negative.
And then on the other side, you have a Japanese tea room. I know this is a Japanese design home or takes inspiration from that, but having a tea room that minimal facing the courtyard in a very specific location serves a purpose in your own mind. So I would love to understand that.
That's really my homage to Japanese design and Japanese culture is more of a traditional room with the tatami mats. So it's meant to be a spiritual room, a place where you can be peaceful, you can be with yourself. And no better place to put it than looking over the courtyard.
This is a unique space. Tatami mat flooring, this low table setup, and you use a space like this for ceremonial gatherings.
What ceremonial gatherings? Like when your son becomes a samurai? You're like, my son, I'm so proud of you. Hi, let's go have tea. I've kept this room for this special time. Look, I don't see the space being used that often. It's cool to have. It's a great location by the Zen garden, but it's more for, keeping it real Japanese than actual utility.
This is what this property is all about. The outdoor access, the Pacific Ocean, and these views. And this backyard does a great job capitalizing on these views, but also creating a lot of different moments, areas for you to hang out, and just enjoy this property. Starting with this pizza oven right here, which I'm assuming is a custom pizza oven with this painted tile design. You have some concrete built-ins here, storage space, fridges, and then you have all these small outdoor seating areas, dining areas, right next to your formal dining area. So you have this beautiful indoor-outdoor flow. And then going this way, I want to quickly talk about the infinity edge pool.
Not so quick, Enes. This is not a backyard. This is the terrace. It's all hardscape. Not a single speck of grass or a tree. It's nothing. Pay attention. The frontage of the property and the courtyard ate all of your backyard, and they want $44 million for it. A property on the back row, which I value more than the front row because there's a highway right in front of this property, with a huge backyard, I believe sold for $24 or $28 million. And they want $44 million for this. Ridiculous.
180 foot long. It is all book match stone. And then we have two circular sections. One of them is your built-in tub. The other one is a built-in seating area. And it truly capitalizes on these views.
Wait a minute. What happened to the Japanese theme? What happened? We all marble now? This is so ridiculous. First of all, who the hell uses marble in a freaking swimming pool? What are we, like Greek gods now? If you wanted to continue with the whole Japanese theme, wouldn't it have been more appropriate to maybe use a gray tone? Maybe make the circular jacuzzi and the fire feature like natural wood, like a Japanese tub? You had the shapes correctly. You just had to make it Japanese. What a rookie mistake.
Now, come over here. The outdoor kitchen that I was talking about earlier. Japanese teppanyaki, easy access from your chef's kitchen.
You just brought the chef's kitchen outside? Come on. Rookie mistake. You're killing the vibe, man. What are you doing? Stainless steel, like just in your face? Is that Japanese to you?
Now I'm gonna get to the scent in a second, but first we have a couple interesting spaces to check out. Number one, your outdoor sauna, and next to this is your cold plunge. I haven't tried this space yet. Hopefully I'll get to it.
This is horrible. This was an afterthought. This should have been incorporated into the design of the property. They just bought one and, cold plunge and a sauna and put it over here. If you wanted to have a spa that looks out to the ocean, you should have incorporated that to the design because it's definitely in line with the Japanese Zen vibe you're going with.
And then you come over here to the hillside. They recessed in these little concrete pads with lounging beds. It's like a little private zone for you to sit down and enjoy these views.
You can clearly hear the cars, and you will never, ever use that space. What a stupid idea. What a waste of money. And to even trying to make it look cool is ridiculous. You should have pretended it wasn't even there. They didn't have a proper walkway for Enes to get there. He had to walk diagonal, and he gave up. He's like about to go back up again.
And down below that is the little sand area. So if you're really missing out on what's right in front of you, which is the Pacific Ocean and the beach, you don't want to spend a few minutes to get there. Well, you have your beach within your property.
Yeah, for your kids to make a sandcastle and fall down on the highway. Horrible idea. Horrible. This is a disaster.
What is the most painstaking detail or feature of the house?
The concrete, for sure. The concrete, without a doubt. So you take a site, it's 1 acre site, and we're going down 26 feet for our excavation. We had to recompact 7 feet of dirt in 6-inch lifts, tested hundreds of times by a geotech engineer. Each time we come up, the exact right amount of moisture content, the right amount of compaction. That's all to take the weight of a structure that's essentially a little over half the weight of the Titanic.
Did you hear what he just said? Like the structure is so heavy, when they were excavating, they have to compact the dirt to make sure there's not enough moisture in there. So when you place this heavy structure on it, it doesn't settle in a weird way so you don't get cracks. That in itself doesn't defeat the whole purpose of building a safe structure. Wasn't this concrete supposed to be like the safest? But you possibly have over-designed it and you opened up another venue for risk, which could be settling, right? And I can tell you, the soil over here is not the best soil for building mega mansion concrete structures because it's mostly very soft sand and the ocean is right there. So the soil beneath you is wet, right? Again, risky. I'm sure he's done it by the code, but God knows other natural disaster. If we get torrential rains someday, how could that affect the foundation when you have so much weight on top of it? You never know.
Now, as promised, the tour of the bar. Get ready. This space is something else. We have beer taps here. The main sink is right in the center. Open shelving above us for all of your spirits with LED lighting. And let me take you to the other side. You have more appliances, more refrigerator drawers, another one of these sink setups here, your spirits, another ice maker. This is a pretty insane bar. And here we have this really cool seating slash lounge area. I mean, what a space to entertain.
Best part of the house so far. The fact that the central location connects to this other lounge on this side, this is where you would be hanging out. Now, I don't see this, neither one of this area, an area where you would hang out by yourself and your family if you're alone. It will feel, again, very lonely. But for a party, for a gathering, for having guests over, this 2-room is amazing. The fact that you have 2 spaces next to each other, completely open, with a bar in between, it really gives that indoor-outdoor vibe. It really connects the terrace backyard to the living space and makes it a fun home to entertain in.
You have different chairs. We have this built-in seating right in the center with a floor tree. And then we have these ceiling mount chairs.
Wait a minute. The bonsai tree is fake? Dude, come on. The one tree. Yeah, you brought one tree and that was fake. Come on. This is a beautiful space. Again, this part I think is where everyone would be hanging out. But so far, the entire house for me has been an entertaining house, not a house to live for yourself. It's really for having massive parties and you know throwing massive get-togethers, big crowds, not a cozy space whatsoever.
We have the main hallway here, but first, I want to take everybody this way because we have the bathrooms here. Now I say bathrooms because beyond having a couple water closets, we also have a couple walk-in showers and also 2 vanities here.
What happened? See, you forgot about the Japanese theme out of a blue. Like now you brought some Brazilian quartz and that this sink looks Roman to me. The natural stone is a good idea, but again, look how much stuff going on. Again, you have the horizontal stripes on this side, vertical stripes on this side, squares on the bottom, geometric hexagons on this one. Way too much, man.
Now we're coming towards the last section of the first floor. Long hallway, staircase to my right. There's also a nice picture window here with another small Zen garden. This door to my left opens up to a small laundry room, and they have a few of these throughout the property. And then now we're back at the entry. This art piece is super cool, especially against the concrete wall. And then on the other side, we have a very exciting space. This is what happens when you let someone like Kris design a movie theater. He'll come up with a custom carpet design that resembles the koi pond in the courtyard, and he'll use the same carpet not only for the floors, on the walls, on the ceiling as well, and that won't be enough. He'll also bring this lettuce pattern that we've been seeing throughout with backlighting to create this portal effect within the movie theater.
Okay, let me tell you guys what I love about this movie theater and what I don't like about it. I love the fact that it's on the main floor. Whenever you put it in the basement, people tend to use it a lot less. So this interconnects with the rest of the house, living spaces a lot more naturally, so we get used a lot more. Now, they've gone for this big, AMC movie theater style, which, people tend to do on these mega mansions, really big ones. I personally prefer, even if you want to have that row, seating arrangement on the second and the third row, on the front row, I really prefer an arrangement that resembles a family room, okay? So when you don't have 30 people, you're not sitting on the chair like a movie theater, okay? You have the option to do so on the second or third row, but if you just want to lay down on the couch with your family, you can have that natural experience with a really big screen experience.
All right, let's go toward the lower level. Now, what is the typical expectation from a floor like this? You may have some spa amenities, maybe a lounge, maybe a movie theater. This floor has way more than that.
Yeah, another fake plant, and also a reception desk for your basement. This is another example of getting inspiration from a hotel spa and trying to incorporate it to your mega mansion. Disaster. Why would you need a reception desk? Like, you tell your girlfriend, hey, go downstairs to the basement, pretend that you're the receptionist, and then when I come down, flirt with me. Come on. It doesn't apply. Again, you had the square footage, you didn't know what to do with it, you put a reception desk. Horrible. Stupid. Extra cost that doesn't do anything.
But first, let me turn this way to show you the span and the volume of this insane subterranean level. I mean, this is absolutely wild. You have hand chiseled limestone walls that are vertically installed. This massive reception area where your staff can greet people, and also keep in mind, this entire subterranean level can work as a nightclub as well if you move all of the gym equipment here.
Massive failure. First of all, pay attention to how much the ceiling height just dropped in basement, okay? I've said this over and over on my channel. If you want to have a gorgeous basement, you got to make sure your ceiling heights on the basement is massive. That's how you make basements grand and beautiful in places that takes your breath away when you get there, okay? I like the fact that when you walk in, there's a central space, but why would you put the gym there? Where's the game room? You could have incorporated a central location to a place where people congregate, okay? You should have tucked in the gym in another place.
Let's go this way for a second. We have a beautiful bathroom that I want all of you to see. The book match stone here is the craziest stone I've ever seen in my life. The vein structure is so intense. It is a trip to just walk into the space. Then you have your ash cabinetry, built-ins on this side that are your lockers, glass enclosed walk-in shower, and this stone is everywhere. You can't escape it.
It seems like Enes is not digging it. He's a little overwhelming and a little too much. Most importantly, it's not Japanese to me. Again, not consistent with the theme of the house. If you wanted to go for that aesthetics, I think you should have committed to it and brought that energy and vibe everywhere. This doesn't look Japanese whatsoever to me.
Now, going back to the gym again, I want to quickly take everybody this way. We have another powder room here. And at the end of this hallway, we have a very cool space. You have a gorgeous limestone sink, custom designed for this space. Wooden countertop here that extends out as your seating bench. And then over here, we have this travertine platform with all these body space. Then your jacuzzi. This is your first shower. And then there's a steam shower here with built-in benches and body space and a rain head. This is a really cool space, and again goes with the ethos of this house, which is the fact that all these rooms are here to nurture you.
Okay, let's pay attention here because the developer is really calling out the demographics who are into wellness, right? People are extremely ultra successful and really are focused in longevity, their health, their diet, their shape. He's dedicated almost the entire lower floor to wellness, which is a little bit of an overkill. I think you could have done 80% of that and still would have standed out as the best wellness property in Malibu and still had a little bit more fun by arranging that central location for a game room where people can come congregate and have fun, and a lounge than a gym. I think a gym could have been tucked away somewhere else in the property where it didn't need to be in the central location of the basement.
Now, let's go to the other way. The tour keeps getting interesting. Now we have this small lounge area here with these Roche-Bobois chairs, very colorful. In fact, wait till you see the nightclub again. But normally they were supposed to have a hyperbaric chamber here. They're waiting for the equipment to come, so they will have that in the future. And then over here, we have the first treatment room. Armand, let's quickly go in here. Same with paneling. You have your I guess, treatment chair here with a little desk on the back. And then going back out, here we have another empty room that will be a treatment room. A little bit more zen and quiet in here. There is a really cool surprise here that we're gonna check out just in a second. And welcome to the massage room. Your motorized table right in the center. Again, built-in desk with some extra storage. This is quite cool and very popular these days. Commercial grade red light therapy machine.
Okay, I'm really glad he's got all down, right? A red light therapy, all the features, bells and whistles. But did you notice that none of these rooms have a window? And if you're on a hillside and you have this opportunity to look to the ocean for your spa, why wouldn't you double down on that? Shouldn't this spa would have been like under the swimming pool or on the other side of the swimming pool, looking out to the ocean? Wouldn't that have been better? To me, it's very utilitarian, right? You're just getting the job done, boom, 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 room to room to room to room, you get everything done like you could sell membership to and actually use that reception desk you have up front. Again, it's not an ideal place. If I wanted to get a massage in this house, I would set up in the courtyard or somewhere outdoors, somewhere where I can feel the breeze and the vibe and the energy, not in a closed off room in the basement.
I don't know how to feel about this space. Part of me thinks it is the coolest entertainment space.
It's not. It's definitely not the coolest entertainment space. First of all, it has a height limit. You know how like you pull into a parking lot, there's a bar. So if your car is really high, they have that one for the humans. Like if you're above 6'2", they won't let you inside this club. And it's really not a club. Just putting LED lights above the ceiling and the rainbows and turning it on and off doesn't make it a club. It's super cramped. It's really a garage. They've curtained off a section of the garage and calling it a nightclub. It's a joke. Like I don't think it would ever get used this in that way. I think it would have been way cooler if you actually dedicated this space to create a massive, amazing garage for someone who's a car collector.
Now it gets better. Once you open up those curtains, you have your garage. You can easily park 6 cars here.
It was the garage. This is a horrible garage for a $44 million property. So basically, I was right.
Now the top floor of this property, where we have the majority of the guest suites, including the primary bedroom that we're going to tour last. And in fact, on this wing, we have 3 guest suites that I'm going to skip because this property is a little over 30,000 square feet and we're trying to keep this tour a little bit short and condensed. But these 3 guest suites come with their own seating area. So let's take a quick look. You have a sectional couch, TV with a sound bar, and I love the quartz coffee table here. It's a nice intimate space.
Okay, this is an average size upstairs living area with no views. And I'm afraid if you're hanging out in this property with your significant other or just your own family, most likely you're going to spend the most amount of time in this room. And it's kind of sad because downstairs is just so big, so massive, overly designed for entertaining that it just doesn't feel cozy. In fact, I wish they had some sort of a kitchen up here because I can't even imagine making an omelet downstairs for the family.
We're now heading towards the front section of this property where we have the remaining 3 guest suites out of the 6 that we have on this level.
This is really good. It's very rare to have 6 bedrooms on the same floor. And most importantly, 3 of the rooms on this side is going to show us are going to have ocean views. That's really good. To be oceanfront is not just like get room views from one room. The more rooms that you have that opens up to the ocean, the better it is. And 3 bedrooms is really good.
Now, we have junior primary bedrooms on each side. And in the center, we have the primary bedroom, which starts here. But first, let's check out one of the junior bedrooms. When you walk in, you have a small hallway with a little bar area, your fridge, sink. And then when you walk into the room, you see this massive built-in assembly. And this is where we have the king-size bed. In fact, Armand, why don't you meet me on the other side? You can hear the sound of the ocean.
Why would you do that? You just blocked the wow factor of the bedroom. Idiotic, and created flow issues. Like the bed itself, by positioning in the middle, it's like having that internal courtyard. So you have to go around the bed to get stuff done. That's one of the reasons why people tug it against the wall. Again, getting inspiration from a hotel they saw somewhere and incorporating a residential property, it doesn't work. You kill the wow factor, you create flow issues within the bedroom.
And when you walk this way, room seamlessly opens up to the outdoors, to this amazing balcony, and the Pacific Ocean. Now with that, we're done with the bedroom. Let's go see the closet. Now the closet design here resembles the closet setup that we saw on the first floor guest suite, open with custom cabinetry.
Like, we haven't seen enough of this kind of burnt out bleached wood. I'm so over it. So over it. Might have been cool as an accent, but as your primary natural element that is supposed to bring life to your property, you chose to kill it with bleach.
And then you walk into your bathroom, limestone with French pattern, lighter tones, skylights that are bringing natural light. And I have to mention, the entire main floor and all the bathrooms in this house feature underfloor heating, which takes a lot of plumbing and a lot of prep work to have that amenity in your home, but I wanted to point that out. And then you have this long vanity here that is travertine fabricated, ashwood cabinetry down below, LED lit mirrors, and I just caught a little detail that I want to point out. This stone here is extended out. It has this floating effect with a glass panel down below, and then your spacious walk-in shower. Here's a detail I really like.
Here's a detail I don't like. The fact that it's not closed, it's not going to keep the heat in. So while you're in the shower, as soon as you step out, it feels cold. That's why they enclose showers with glass. So while you're showering, if you step outside from under the water, the steam keeps you warm. And this is going to feel weird. As soon as you move away from the water falling on you, you're going to feel the cold.
And then we have the freestanding tub here with this earth-like texture. I've never seen this finish on a freestanding tub before, and this is the coolest part of this bathroom design. Now, there's a drain here, and I was a little bit surprised with this drain because you can have a drain for your bathroom, but it also is sloped from the exterior to the interior. Then, Kris showed me this detail. I was like, this is pretty cool. It's a motorized pivot door opening up to the same balcony that we just toured. It wraps around the corner, maximizing the outdoor use. But beyond that, it keeps the space very private, but still gives you this amazing outdoor access.
You should have put an outdoor shower here. Where's the outdoor shower? Come on. Why did you spend on a motorized door when you didn't give it a utility? Why would someone want to come out? Again, if you were going to do that, you might as well put an outdoor shower there to give it more utility.
Now, let's go see the primary. It is also nice that we have two elevators coming up to this level. And the other thing that I want to point out is
the hallways is so zigzag. Like, it wasn't just the basement where each room had separate hallways going into different treatment rooms. It also, in the upper floor, it feels very tight. I talk about this. The width of hallways really dictate the level of luxury. For a luxury, you need two people standing shoulder to shoulder, walking comfortably. And this is really tight for an ultra luxury property.
we have two generous sized junior primary bedrooms and a primary bedroom right in the center.
Oh my God. All of them, they've smacked the freaking bed dead center in the room. What exactly you shouldn't do.
Now, welcome to the primary bedroom. The footprint of this room and all of its rooms within is quite spacious. So let's start with the first walk-in closet. Again, built-in cabinetry, LED lighting, skylight above, and it matches or it connects to the fixed window here. So it has this nice open design that brings a ton of natural light into the space.
That was not necessary. You already have a skylight. Like, why would you need that? That's where you should have set up a mirror, maybe a vanity. Again, it doesn't have a seat where you can sit down because it's not wide enough to have an island.
Next up, I want to quickly take you to the office. I pointed out this space earlier. It looks into the courtyard. We have this great elevation, same wood paneling, desk on this side. This is a great space. I feel like if I lived in this house, I would utilize this office.
So you have two offices. You have an office downstairs and you have an office for your primary bedroom. Again, I feel like you didn't know what to do with this square footage.
Now I want to quickly take you back to see the bedroom, which starts here. Small bar off of the entry and going in, reclaimed hardwood floors, nice seating area here with a travertine coffee table, all these built-ins, and talking about a massive bed.
Oh my God, this must be the ugliest bed I've seen in ultra luxury. What is these columns around it? Horrible design. It looks like there was a column or something they're trying to hide. There is something going on here. This is way too ugly. I really think they're hiding something here, because you cannot have such poor taste to put these stupid columns that look like, you know, covers for AC duct in your primary bedroom. Again, so dying by this, you know, bleached out wood ceilings too. Horrible. Just way too much.
And I also appreciate the fact that the bed is pushed in, because once you lay down here, all you see is the infinity and the Pacific Ocean. You don't hear anything besides the waves.
You will hear the cars, okay? Don't get fooled by it. You got to go there, lay down, and see if you can hear the cars or not. I've been to this front row, and I've heard sound of the cars clearly.
And you have this beautiful balcony that frames this incredible view. Now, this is where this bedroom gets very crazy, because it has 2 built-in hot tubs for each one of the bathrooms.
Why? First of all, one of them was empty. Why his and her hot tub? Like, you playing hard to get with your wife? Wave at each other? You like different temperatures? Again, stupid things people spend money on, and then they wonder why they, you know, go foreclose on their property or go bankrupt. Idiotic. You have a spa downstairs. You have a spa in the basement. You want to put 2 more in your primary bedroom. You think someone's going to come and be like, oh my God, that's the deciding factor? Horrible. I've had it enough with this property. Let me give it an Arvin score. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I have videos of hundreds of different mansions that I critique. I think it's really cool. You can learn something from it, from even a small 1-bedroom house. The principles remain the same, okay? Here's the location. I'm going to give this location a 6.5. To me, it's the last place in Malibu I would want to buy. It's just way too far out. Again, ideally for someone who is into living in Oxnard and they just want to live in Malibu, like have a vacation home in Malibu, it's really for them. You're very, very far from Los Angeles. A lot of quality. You have about an acre flat, but you're not level with the street. I'm going to give it a 9. Lot utilization. You do have a frontage and you do have a private driveway, but it's really cramped. It's really, really tight. Your backyard is non-existent. It's really a terrace. It's really, really small for this caliber. And your side setbacks are average at best. They're probably a little too tight. I'm going to give it a 6. Privacy. It's not a gated neighborhood. You're a little too close to your neighbors, but overall, no one really looks into the property. And for that reason, I'm going to give it an 8. Lot orientation. You're west facing, but you're right next to PCH. I'm going to give it a 6. Architectural style. It's a really poor attempt of an American trying to make a Japanese home. To me, especially the front facade looks hideous. It's like a white box made out of concrete with a little black trim above the top to give that kind of charcoal burnt Japanese look. It's not Japanese at all. I can't give it anything more than a 4. Views. It's a front row ocean view. During the day, it's good. You see the ocean, but there's no other elements to interact. There's no focal point. There's no vegetation. There's no beach to look at. There's no mountain to look at. It's just the water. And for me, that's not the best view, especially when you consider at nighttime, it's pitch black. You have nothing to look at. It's an 8. Scale and volume. Fantastic. Beside the hallways, everything was grand. The dimensions were right. Really big spaces. Very good home for entertaining. I'm going to give it a 9.5. Finishes. I think the palette was completely off. If you're deciding to go very brutalist with concrete, you need warmer natural wood, not the bleach one. And I think that was the biggest mistake. The other element was overuse of design. And this is a very common mistake with a lot of people who actually typically have a good taste. They want to show off what they can do, and they forget about the message of the property. I think there were way too many geometric shapes. There was all types of stuff going on, which wasn't even in line with the fact that it was supposed to be zen. It was distractive. And then at the same time, the palette was never working for me anywhere in the property. And for that reason, I have to give it a 5. Now, here's the Arvin score. Here's part 1 of the video. And here is one of my favorite mansions that burned down in the Palisade fires. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.